which we are most afraid of can often bring us great healing and liberation. Today's first reading seems like a rather strange, twisted sense of humor on God's part. But the very symbol of their own, shall we say, pain and suffering, and for some of them death, being bitten by a serpent, was meant to be the way of healing. And yet we know from the perspective of the soul there's a great truth in this. That whatever has hurt us, whatever pushes against us, has an energy, some would say an invitation, to look deeper, as a way of opening ourselves up to the message inside of it. Yes, it is true. Whatever we're most afraid of very often is the very thing that can open up a gateway to greater liberation. Many years ago, I was leading a men's retreat, which involved a lengthy outdoor experience of being in solitude for about 6-7 hours. And each of the men were instructed to go out and to make a sacred circle and just stay there. Just sit there and just observe creation. Listen to God speak to you through nature and just see what happens. There were several questions about are there mountain lions, are there snakes and rabbits. I said, actually, yes to all the above. But one man was too fearful to ask in public, so he came to me afterwards and says, Father Jim, I'm deathly afraid of snakes. You said there's snakes there? I said, yes. I said, there's rattlesnakes. I said, listen to me. They won't hurt you if you stay in the circle. How can you say that? I said, because the circle is your sacred space. They can sense that you're about something deep and powerful. Well, he didn't trust me at all. I said, place yourself in God's hands and watch and see what happens. So this is his story. It's not mine. Afterwards, he comes up to me. He said, you're not going to believe what happened to me. I said, try me. He said, it was about 4 hours. I sat in my circle, didn't leave, and I was sitting looking at this bush about 20 feet in front of me. And out from the bush comes this rattlesnake coming right toward me. And I remember what you said to me, so I kept saying, Father Jim said, he won't hurt me, he won't hurt me, he won't hurt me. But I did move all the way back to my circle, and the snake came right up to the edge of the circle that he had created and literally raised up and looked me in the eye. He says, what do you think it means? I think it's pretty obvious. Did he cross the line? He said, no. He dropped back down and he made a hard left and went into another bush. Is it possible that God appeared to you in the form of a snake to say, I'm with you, you have nothing to be afraid of? There are many cultures where the snake is a symbol of transformation. It's not about death, not about suffering, not about sin, but to recognize that God can and use many things to teach us in the way of Christ. Even our fears and struggles in the swamplands of our soul. Today's scripture invites us to recognize that sometimes we can misunderstand God's ways. And that's what happened with Jesus and his listeners. They didn't get it. He was speaking from a deep place of intimacy with God. And they misunderstood him. They didn't get it. So often we're disconnected from an intimate relationship with Christ. We don't understand reality. We don't understand how God can teach us. And we run away from the very things that can set us free. So, in God's great wisdom, God said, here's how my people will be healed. Look at the very thing you're afraid of. And when you look at it, when you ponder it deeply, it can be the way that God brings healing and liberation.